our variable legislators to dispense with this document as soon as they have time to do so. This is not to say that we require a session of paper in order to continue with what we are doing. A session of paper is never required for a curriculum. In fact, the 844 never had one. Politics has no place, whether it is union politics or whether it is national politics or county politics. Please put them aside. You can come to politics afterwards.
The public forum that we are engaged in should have is actually an afterthought, is putting the cart before the horse. The task force that is being formed should have been domiciled in stage number 3 of making policy. You cannot create a task force and then purport to be collecting public views when you have already rolled out. That is fooling Kenyans. You cannot fool Kenyans. Kenyans are informed. If they are not informed, KNUT shall inform them. We shall be asking other institutions that are vested with taking decisions, like Parliament, to suspend the rollout and compel a forensic audit on the rollout.
So this is a standoff that has refused to go. We have a ministry that is determined to continue with the implementation of the new curriculum. It's now in which year? The 7th month of a full rollout since it began in January. And you still have a union that is insisting that we need to stop it because it does not follow the procedure. First of all, that the sessional paper is not a requirement for the curriculum to continue. Is that the correct interpretation of what should be happening?
I think, okay, my position has been ever clear that I am yet to understand why there is so much objection with a new curriculum. Because I think there is no argument across the board in the country that the competency-based curriculum is a good curriculum. I don't think I've heard anyone argue that it's a bad curriculum. Then it seems that the only issue is that the teachers feel that they are not equipped or that they were not consulted in the change being made. The argument that the teachers won't be able to teach it, I have never bought it, because teaching pedagogy is universal. And that is why our teachers who have been trained in Kenya under the 844 system, went to Kenyatta University, are still able to go and teach in Brookhouse, are still able to go and teach in Cambridge, are still able to go and teach overseas, are still able to go and teach in a Montessori system after a 1 week familiarization course. Because the teaching is the same, it's the way you approach the teaching that is different. So, but I do agree that in order not to have fights, it should have been necessary to consult the teachers. But I would have assumed, because the teachers are actually the best organized groupings in the whole country, it's very easy to just be able to undertake the consultation. So I don't know whether it's the consultation that has become the big issue. Is it the fact that the teachers have not been trained, that don't understand the system? Is not an issue. In fact, the only argument I almost bought recently is one that I was told by Honorable Sossion when I asked him, please explain to me what the objection is. And there were 2 reasons that I agreed with. He told me we don't have the equipment and the books. I told him maybe that I can listen to. But I think the others, it's not coming out clearly, and this is typical of our country, where there is so much noise that you cannot understand. In fact, maybe you can help us. I'd like to see the newspaper headlines. Give me 2 columns. These are the reasons why it's being objected
pros
to.
And cons
pros and cons. Then we can now have a more rational conversation. Because it's not enough. And I think I know Mago has always been someone who takes a hard stand, even when I was teaching at the university. The thing is, it's got to realize that this is something that affects much more lives than University of Nairobi. It's the entire country. So, and it's our children. So what he should do is try and reach out and tell the teachers, you want consultation? Let us arrange groupings across the country and let us have the consultations.
Okay, Speaker Elachi, so on the standard, page 12, 100,000 teachers trained on new curriculum. That's according to CS Magoha. And of course, we've seen some training sessions that were disrupted. I think it was in the month of April, but there has been several episodes of training taking place. But there still seems that the teaching fraternity, if you're to take the voice of Sossion as representative, is still disgruntled with this implementation. He's still now saying that we postpone until 2024. I mean,
what will have happened by 2024?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
And that is the question, because of course you do not get something that is ready-made. You have to work on it. So how do you, how do you resolve the kind of a conflict that we have at the moment?
Before Beatrice, can I just ask him something? Because I don't know, we are acting as a country. Is it that we suddenly stumbled upon the fact that we want to have a competency training, or was it something that we planned 10 years ago? Because we make it seem like we suddenly figured it out.
Yes.
So I am assuming that those who have been in the Ministry of Education have been planning this at least for 10 years.
Okay.
If they just stumbled upon it, then they should leave their jobs. They are incompetent.
But you see, we need to go back. How did we start 844? You see, that's where...
Moi made a statement.
Yeah, just one. And we changed. So why is it today we have to go in all these processes?
How smooth was the implementation?
Well, whether it was smooth or not,
it happened.
It happened. And by the way, nobody would have said anything. It just started.
And we have you to show for it.
We didn't have equipment.
We didn't have
equipment. Don't forget that. We didn't have equipment. But things went. Just as Mheshimiwa is saying, surely, when I want a job at Brook House, do I go and say I have what type of degree?
I don't have the competence.
See, the same degree of Kenyatta University, of Nairobi University, takes me to Light Academy, to all these academies. And how come we make sure our children in private schools are doing so well? Are they not the same teachers?
Yeah, the same
so
teachers.
Why is it when it comes to public school, when we want to now upgrade these children to a different way of learning, at least to innovate them, that you don't need to just be in books.
Right.
Is it that the teachers feel it's going to be a harder task than what they've been doing? That's because there are many questions you will ask around the whole thing.
Right.
Because it can't just be the curriculum. Because this is a curriculum that is done at every school that is doing British, international schools, same. So if we want to move, and I would wish now Mheshimiwa Sossion to help us also, because, you know, you come in strongly, but come out and tell us, we want to defend our teachers with this. The reasons why we don't want this curricula is, number one, it's not going to be good to the children. Two, it will undermine, it will, you know, they will not be able to compete in the international world. Those are the things we would want to hear.
Okay.
But now when they come in because of this public participation thing that we put, that everything has to be public participation, then imagine how you go through all that public participation, and then in the end, even the issues that were raised, because even if you go back to the parents and ask them what is best, they will tell you, if this is what will change my child to be innovative and become a Kenyan who will compete within, and so be it.
So, Senator, I want your word on this, your final word on this, because obviously you see the Secretary General of NAT with so many reasons that the infrastructure is not right, the training is not sufficient, you don't have sufficient equipment at the schools, the question about public participation. What is the best way out so that really our learners can be left to study in peace in whatever system?
Maybe what I can just add on to that is the fact that, yes, maybe the infrastructure is not prepared, maybe we don't have enough books, maybe training is an issue, but that is still not a reason, you know, to stop a good thing. In fact, what the NAT, the MP Sossion should be telling us is how he can help the ministry, how they can sit down together and help to roll out. It's a good thing. I have a child in the old system, I have a child in the new system. And I can tell you, I can see the benefits of it. And yes, the teachers are still struggling, you know, to get into line with it. But it has a lot of beauty to it. Because for the first time, we have children here where we are looking at their strengths, which are not just books. And I think that for me is the best thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so
that's a parent speaking.
What MP should be doing is not fighting and causing us parents now to become jittery, because he's not saying the system is bad. I don't think he has ever said it is bad.
Right.
If it is an issue of infrastructure and books, those are things now that the government can sit down together with all the stakeholders and figure out how to roll out a little faster.
All right, and I think that voice from a parent is the best way to leave that topic.